Alright. Alright. Hey, how are you guys doing? This is Tom. It's pretty late in the evening here, and I just got a new phone, not by choice, but by necessity. And I thought, what better opportunity to test out my new video capabilities than to make a little webinar on a solo and a particular technique that I've been working on lately. Let me just increase the volume a little bit. Alright, cool. So I've been working on this secret project for a while, and one song of this album, of this EP, is called Vampyro, and it has a very particular technique that I've been toying with for a while. And I'll play a clip. I think I'll insert a little clip of the actual audio into this video. And this is what it looks like. Now once again. Yeah, sort of like this. I think on the recording it's even a little bit faster. So anyway, here's the basic idea. It is, as you can see, very much based on hybrid picking. And not only is it based in hybrid picking, it's also based on hybrid picking in the ascending fashion and descending with good old sweeping. And the most interesting part about this whole thing is that it's entirely in quintuplets. So let's take it one step at a time. First of all, what we're playing here is a A-flat augmented arpeggio. And I'm playing it ascending with downstroke, middle finger, ring finger. And if you didn't really play with this technique before, if you haven't really gotten into hybrid picking that much, I strongly recommend picking up my instructional video Augmented Reality at www.beyondthestrings.de because there I'll take you through the techniques and to various exercises, building it, and then through a lot of actual, probably easier examples with this technique from my back catalog. Alright, enough of the shameless promotion. So we're ascending this arpeggio, which is A flat, C, and E. I'm in standard tuning, by the way. So when we get to the E, we come back down using good old sweeping, so only upstrokes. And as you can hopefully see, while I'm ascending using hybrid picking, I'm also lifting up my pick a little bit so that I'll be in the right position to come back down using the upstrokes once we get to note number 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And as I said before, it's based in quintuplets. So we have 1, 2, 3 notes here, 1, 2, 3 notes here coming down, make 6, and then we have 4 notes, again played with hybrid picking, so downstroke, middle finger, ring finger, and now pinky. And 3 and 3 and 4 together makes 10. So that's 2 groups of 5 quintuplets. The difficulty here is that this subdivision of the quintuplets is 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. So the notes where you change direction and change technique and change finger positions, they don't fall on the one of the quintuplet groups. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And that's super strange to do. I totally admit that. But that's part of the fun of this technique, and I'm always looking for ways to do something with certain technique combinations, like in this example, that's never, to my knowledge, really been done before. So I'm guessing that there's millions of different possibilities yet to discover for this particular technique. Anyway, so and to get to this note G sharp or A flat, to be correct, up here, obviously now I have to switch fingering positions, and I'm doing that when I come back down the second note of the second group of 3, which I'm first playing with the ring finger, and then with an upstroke, and then with a downstroke played with the pinky. And that's again a technique, this finger switching thing that I go into detail about in my instructional video. There's a couple of examples only on that technique, which is super important to my playing, because it enables me to go from one fingering position to the next pretty much seamlessly inside certain licks, like not playing one lick in one particular position and then playing another lick in another position, like many players tend to do. And so this is basically a vehicle to get out of these guitar playing ruts, so to speak. Super important technique, again, beyondthestrings.te if you're interested in learning more about that. So that's the first one, right? And so that technique will then be transposed to different arpeggios in the same manner. So the next one starts on E and is in diminished. Right? So E, G, B. And once again, 3 notes up, hybrid picking. 3 notes down, sweeping. 4 notes up, hybrid picking, using the pinky, and in this case we don't need to position shift, but we need to stretch a little bit. And you can probably see my hand angle change a little bit in order to do that. Well, sloppy. That's a tricky one. Then we move it up to another diminished, starting from G. Again, we don't need to position shift, we just need to stretch, and we use middle and index finger here in the groups of 3, but then in the group of 4 we use pinky, ring finger, middle finger, index finger. Alright, and then we move it up one last time, starting from D flat, again diminished, And now, since we're running out of strings, after we play the 2 groups of 3, 1, 2, 3 up, 1, 2, 3 down. When I go up, the 4th note is a hammer-on here. Right? So that's the basic technique in the first 2 bars? I think 2 bars. And the reason that I'm hammering on with my pinky here and not with my ring finger, which obviously would be having a stronger tone, is that afterwards, at the start of the next bar, I go up this diminished arpeggio once again using hybrid picking, and then using this tapping technique that I also use quite a lot. Once again, I'm kind of getting tired of promoting this, but in my instructional video there's a lot of examples, because there I take you through the entire acrosses, solo and main arpeggio part, and there's a ton of this technique in there where I basically play these 2-finger tapping things where I pull off 1 finger towards the ceiling and 1 finger towards the floor. Once again, I go into detail in the actual video. So and I'm basically just descending these diminished shapes here. Could also just continue that motion downwards. Again, take notice of the picking here. Ascending hybrid picking. Hammer on, tapping, pull off, and then, whoops, downward, or upward rather, sweep. And when I slide down to the next position, I change the picking direction and go ascending, once again using hybrid picking. Whoops, sorry. Again, it's very late. So, again, that is in the same subdivision that the bar before is in. So it's all quintuplets. And it has this very strange effect, because the song tempo, I think, is 200 BPM. And the rhythm mainly uses 8 notes and 16th notes. So you create a 5/4 polyrhythm, but at this very high tempo, which makes it not really super audible and like rhythmically contrasting, but it's more this very free-flowing, kind of obscure rhythmic motion, which I really like. That goes back to my earliest influences from people like Sean Lane and even Yngwie. You know, Yngwie, when he does some of his fast runs, especially the descending ones, he always plays in between the subdivisions, or he very often does. It's not, you know, straight 16th notes then followed by straight and by 16th note triplets right on the beat. It's more free flowing, and so this is another way to get a similar effect. Maybe I'm getting a bit overboard with this, but whatever. It's an interesting technique. And then in the 4th bar, we are descending. Hang on. There it is. We're descending this melodic minor pattern. I can't actually alternate pick that fast, so I'm using economy picking. And the pattern is down, up, switching strings, down, no, I'm sorry, again, down, up, so switching strings, up, down, up, down, up, up, down, up, up, down, up, down, up, and down for the last note. I may be actually playing the notes on the last string, legato, I think, maybe, just so I can have enough punch left for, giving the last note a little bit of oomph, a little bit of crack. So the reason I'm picking it in this way is that I'm a total sucker for having the same picking motion on every string, especially when playing 3-note per strings. It's just making a good thing out of a bad thing, or out of a limitation, so to speak, because I'm really terrible, always have been, at playing alternate picking in the way that other people play it, like Steve Moore, John Petrucci, Aldi Meola, all these guys, love listening to them play, but I can't do the same thing. Alternate picking is always my, the technique that I spend the most time on, but can't really get to work. And I'm not going to get into the reasons behind it, but at some point I just started figuring out how to how to sidestep the issue, and economy picking is one of my greatest assets for doing that. Whoop, slop. There it is. And on the recording, I think this is straight 16th notes. So we go from these quintuplet things. Oh, let me start that again. Also quintuplets. To 16th notes in that area. So there you go. That's the opening notes of that whole section. And then maybe, I don't know how much we're doing on time, but I'll take you quickly through the next section, which I double tracked and put left and right just to give it a little bit more sonic variety. So it's more, it's a trick that I use very often, for example in the across solo, and many others too, where I will start the solo with one guitar in the middle of the stereo spectrum. Then for one part I'll double track and pan them left and right, and then go back to one guitar in the middle, just to keep it sonically interesting, as on top of it being hopefully harmonically, rhythmically, and playing wise interesting. So yeah, I guess that's one of the things that comes from me being a mixing and mastering engineer, and just always looking for ways to also make it sonically interesting. Anyway, so this double track passage is, I'm gonna remove the pick for a second because it's a tapping section. It's a new variation that I've come up with on my video game tapping technique, that sort of thing, that I use on tons of songs, and also I'm explaining quite in detail on the instructional DVD, which is not even just a DVD, it's a whole multimedia package with music and backing tracks and interactive content and whatever. Get it? So the initial technique is based around moving in one direction with both hands and then changing positions one after the other, right? So that sort of thing. So here it goes a step further, and we're going into two different directions, meaning that I'm starting out playing these two notes of G here, going downwards. And then in the left hand also going downwards from F to F. I'm not going to bore you with all the technical details of how to pull this off. Just be aware of the pattern, and if you want to know more, again, beyond the strings .de is where you go. So 4 notes downwards. And then we're ascending again. Sorry. So it's descending, ascending. And after I start ascending, up, up, I move positions to the 10th fret and I'm playing this F note here. Again, I'm just playing different octaves and different positions of the same note. So it's just two notes. It's G and F. Oh. And then we move the pattern to yeah, what are we moving it to? Ah, yeah, that's right. So F and E. So descending F, descending E, ascending F, ascending E. And that's also why I have my hair ties here for this technique. It's not doing much. I still can get, there you go, a bit of open string, but it just tightens up the technique at high speeds. It's just a tiny bit, because this really sounds best if it has this very robotic sound, where every note is really even, I mean as even as I am capable of playing it, and equally loud. So and then we are going to E here with the right hand, and C sharp with the left hand. So it's descending E, descending C sharp, or D flat, whatever you want to call it. Then ascending E, ascending C sharp. And then in the final bar of this section, the right hand goes up a fret to F again, descending F, and then descending C, ascending F, and then we actually don't go to another octave of C, but we go to F here. So we're doubling this F basically. And that's it. That's it. Let me see if I can actually play it. A little bit sloppy, but you get the idea. There you go. And the rest of the solo is pretty much improvised, so I'm not really gonna go into all of that. So yeah, there you go. I hope you learned something that you can use in your own playing. And that's it for tonight. I hope this comes out well on my shiny new phone. If not, I'll probably have to give it back, and I really don't want to do that. So, metal! Sleep tight. Good night.